Hey guys, Tom here. This is my Raw review for the 7th of March 2016. I've just finished watching Monday Night Raw this week, and in today's video, like we do every single week, I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on every single thing which happened on Raw this week. And there's one thing which is really bugging me about this week's Monday Night Raw, and it is the fact that it just doesn't feel like WrestleMania season. WrestleMania, it's four weeks away. Everybody knows it's 4 weeks away, and it just simply doesn't feel like it's that close. You know, this time of the year, you'd be thinking that they'd be pulling out all the stops, doing everything right, making everything amazing, and it's just not working. It just feels flat, boring. Nothing's really going on. The only interesting thing which is happening is Shane McMahon's back. Apart from that, it just feels like the same old crap. It doesn't feel like they're going one step further. It doesn't feel like WrestleMania's 4 weeks away. And the fact that this Roadblock special event is on Saturday is just a huge inconvenience. It's in the way of the WrestleMania build. It doesn't make much sense. More people are looking forward to that than they are for WrestleMania. WrestleMania is the biggest event of the year. They usually give themselves 6 weeks to build towards the WrestleMania pay-per-view. You've got Roadblock right in the middle of that, in the way, in my opinion. It's an inconvenience. More people are looking forward to Ambrose against Triple H than they are for Roman Reigns against Triple H. Roman, he hasn't even been on Raw since, for the last 2 weeks. Brock, he hasn't been on Raw for the last 2 weeks. It's WrestleMania in 4 weeks. Roadblock's in the way. It doesn't feel like WrestleMania season. This Raw was better than last week's Monday Night Raw, but only slightly. It was okay. There were some good wrestling matches on this. It just doesn't feel like WrestleMania season. Anyway, we're going to start talking about the first segment, work our way through to the main event, which was absolute trash, by the way. But the first segment was pretty good. We had Shane McMahon kicking off Monday Night Raw. Who thought in 2016 Shane freaking McMahon would be kicking off Monday Night Raw? So I had no problems with this. He came out, he thanked the fans for once again giving him a great reaction. By the way, I thought the Chicago crowd tonight were pretty abysmal. They're usually pretty loud. They're usually chanting CM Punk. They're usually doing loads of crazy chants, original chants. You could barely hear them tonight, but I don't blame them, because this week's Monday Night Raw really didn't give them anything. But it was cool to see Shane McMahon starting Monday Night Raw, get down to business. It's an explosive way, it's interesting, it's damn cool. Anyway, Shane McMahon talked about why he wants to be in charge of Monday Night Raw. He kind of had a slight dig at Roman Reigns by saying Vince has been pushing people who have no talent and not pushing people who have loads of talent. You know, Roman Reigns, this is exactly what everybody thinks about him. He has no talent, but he gets all the spotlight. And you've got guys like Dolph Ziggler, who's got loads of talent, and they get no spotlight whatsoever. So he was basically hinting at what he would do if he beats The Undertaker at WrestleMania. So that builds up the match, builds up the anticipation. People are excited to see the Authority go. They're excited to see Shane McMahon come in. So this was a good way to build the anticipation for the WrestleMania main event. Then The Undertaker's dong went, and I was like, holy shit, we're finally going to get the two in the ring at the same time. We didn't get it last week. I really wanted a stare down between Shane and Taker last week. We didn't get it. I thought we were getting it this week, but then Vince McMahon comes out, an ultimate troll by Vince McMahon, but we kind of love to hate this. I mean, this is kind of the typical Vince McMahon. He's so annoying, but we kind of love to hate him. And I think this storyline is actually turning out pretty good. I'm really enjoying it. Vince McMahon brought out a photo of him and Shane, and he stamped on it. I mean, that's cool. This is the typical McMahon drama that we're used to. It's interesting. I'm excited. I really want to see Shane beat Undertaker and kind of shove it down Vince's throat. I mean, that would be interesting. They're really building it well, and the only slight gripe I have is they haven't really explained why Undertaker is fighting for Vince McMahon. But the one question I did have on this week's Monday Night Raw was, is Shane actually going to fight in the Hell in a Cell match? And I think the answer is yes, because what we saw after, where Shane was attacking the security guards, sort of suggests he is in ring shape, he can still go, and it kind of hinted that, yeah, he is going to be the one that's going to be wrestling. It at least proved that he is going to throw a punch in that match. So I quite like this segment. I mean, it was kind of the typical McMahon drama. Vince McMahon, he knows exactly how to play the crowd by trolling us with the Undertaker music and also saying how the CM Punk chant didn't last very long. I mean, it's typical from what we've seen from Vince McMahon down the years. He's playing the heel in this storyline very, very well. Shane, he's playing the babyface very, very well. We want him to win and take over Monday Night Raw so much. I think this built the match very, very well, so I thought it was a great way to kick off Monday Night Raw. Also, the next match we had was Kevin Owens defeating Neville. This was awesome. I mean, there was hardly any highlights on this week's Monday Night Raw, but the one highlight I took from this was Sami Zayn is freaking back in the WWE. I don't think we've seen him on Monday Night Raw since he accepted John Cena's US Open challenge about 12 months ago, so this was awesome. The match between Owens and Neville, yeah, that was awesome as well, but when Sami Zayn freaking came out, that was insane. So Kevin Owens gets the win over Neville with a roll-up in typical Kevin Owens fashion. But then Sami Zayn makes the save for his friend Neville. So it looks like we're going to get Owens and Zayn one-on-one at WrestleMania. That sounds amazing. This was amazing. It was kind of predicted that Sami Zayn was going to come back to Monday Night Raw in the next few weeks. But I think they did it at the right time. It didn't really seem... We weren't really clear where Kevin Owens was heading for WrestleMania. Brings back Sami Zayn. It's clear where he's going now. We're heading for a match between the two. It's going to be great. I can't wait for it. It's going to be definitely one of the best matches of the night, so I'm really happy about this. Imagine Sami Zayn with the Intercontinental title. That's something I'm looking forward to. It's great that they pulled the trigger on it tonight, and I can't wait to see how they build towards that match at WrestleMania. But not taking anything away from the match between Owens and Neville, it was great. Maybe a little bit too short. I would have liked to see a little bit more between the two. There were some great moves in this match, and yeah, I really like the Sami Zayn moment. Then moving on, we had Summer Rae defeating Brie Bella. Summer Rae, she got the win when Lana's music came on, and we got another roll-up. So we'd had two matches so far in the night, two roll-ups. I mean, I'm not going to have too much of a gripe about this because up until this point, I thought Raw was pretty impressive because Summer Rae, she defeated Brie Bella. We haven't seen her in the ring for a while. I don't know why, because this match was awesome. I thought this was short, but it was sweet. It was a short and sweet match. It was interesting. It was entertaining. It was fast-paced. It didn't really make much sense. It was kind of a meaningless match, but I thought it was really entertaining. It was fast-paced, and this is exactly what I want to see from the Divas. I'd like to see this match again. I thought it was really entertaining. Why Summer Rae isn't on the roster every week, why she isn't fighting on Monday Night Raw every week, is beyond me, because from this, she's clearly one of the best wrestlers on the roster, but for some reason she's never on Raw. But this match was good. What happened after the match was actually pretty impressive. Lana, we've never actually seen her wrestle in the ring before, and she hits Brie Bella with a facebuster, which is in fact Brie Bella's finisher, which made me question, does Brie Bella actually have a name for that finisher? If somebody knows, please comment below, because I don't think she does. But it turned out that Lana actually hit the finisher better than what Brie Bella can do. But this was cool because kind of took you by surprise, because we've never seen Lana wrestle before, and she takes off her heels and she does this amazing move which we never expected, and turns out it was better than what Brie Bella could do. It was awesome. So are we heading for a match between Lana and Brie Bella at WrestleMania? Honestly, if you ask me, it doesn't really feel like a WrestleMania match, but if the WWE want to do it, and if it means we're going to see more of Lana, and if she can do more of this, then fine, but it doesn't really feel like a WrestleMania match. We all know Brie Bella's retiring in the next few months, so can't really get behind her either. The match really doesn't make much sense. It kind of came out of nowhere. I'm not sure where it came out of, really. It just appeared, sort of building towards a feud between the two. Not sure what the end product's going to be. Is the end product that Lana's going to debut at WrestleMania? That's the only thing I can really see from this. I'm not sure what the end product is, but yeah, Lana hitting that move looked great. She did it better than Brie Bella, and I'm interested to see how it develops and when we're going to actually see Lana step in the ring and have a match. Also, moving on, we had Dean Ambrose and Triple H in a verbal confrontation. Now, Triple H made Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt for later in the night, but most importantly from this, I took that Triple H said that the authority always wins. Now, Dean Ambrose was bigging himself up, saying that he's going to beat Triple H at Roadblock, which is a huge inconvenience because there was no mention of Roman Reigns here, which is completely confusing for the average fan who knows that at WrestleMania, Roman Reigns and Triple H are going to have this match. But this promo made no reference to Roman Reigns whatsoever. We haven't seen Roman Reigns for 2 weeks. It's like they're ignoring him. It makes no sense that they're ignoring technically the biggest match of the year, and they're still building towards this Saturday Roadblock special event, which will be forgotten in a few days afterwards. I mean, they're building towards this special event, which means absolutely nothing. Pretty predictable Triple H is going to win, and yet they still forget and aren't referencing Roman Reigns whatsoever. I mean, we're bloody 4 weeks away from that main event match, and there's just no reference to it. It makes absolute no sense, but it just proves that everybody in the crowd, everybody in Chicago, everybody watching at home, we want to see Dean Ambrose against Triple H more than we want to see Roman Reigns against Triple H. I mean, even though they didn't make any mention of Roman Reigns here, it doesn't really matter because this is the match we want to see. And even if they didn't mention Roman Reigns, did you really notice? Nah, I suppose you didn't. But it just feels like a huge inconvenience. I mean, WrestleMania is 4 weeks away, yet you're putting all your time into building this house show on Saturday. It just doesn't feel logical to me. Anyway, moving on, because this promo didn't really do a lot for me. We move on to something which also didn't do a lot for me. We have the League of Nations in a 3-on-1 match against Dolph Ziggler. So obviously the League of Nations did get the win after Sheamus hit the bro kick onto Dolph Ziggler, but at the end of the day, this did absolutely nothing for me. They sort of built this match by saying about a tweet Dolph Ziggler did about the authority, and he said to Stephanie about when he beat the authority at Survivor Series 2014. For some reason, he mentioned that, and then we have this match. I mean, this Survivor Series match was 2 years ago. It's like they remembered this randomly when they were writing the script for Raw and was like, oh my god, we've got to do something about this. Even though it was 2 years ago, we've got to take action on Dolph Ziggler. So they book him in this match. This match did absolutely nothing for me. It was as if the authority were trying to show their power to the fans, whilst they still have the power. But we've been seeing this for years. I mean, it does absolutely nothing for me. The League of Nations are boring. Dolph Ziggler, we've seen him as the underdog for so many years now, and it's just boring at this point. It does nothing for me. This match was pointless. It went on for way too long, did absolutely nothing. Bored of Dolph Ziggler at this point, bored of the League of Nations at this point, bored of the authority at this point. So, yeah, this match was boring. The next match we had was, I'd probably say, pretty boring as well. Not for the fact that it wasn't entertaining, it was just because we've seen it all before. It was Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks against Naomi and Tamina. Now, we saw this match at the Fastlane pay-per-view, and we thought that was it. I mean, we've moved on from that. And then we get it again this week on Monday Night Raw, for no reason whatsoever. I mean, we're in WrestleMania season, and we're regurgitating the same old stuff over and over again. I mean, come on. I don't remember anything from this match because I've seen a better match at Fastlane. This was nowhere near as good as their pay-per-view match a few weeks ago. Why they did it again, I have no idea. The only logical thing I took from this was Charlotte attacking Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks after the match. So I'm interested to see how they do actually build this triple threat match. Who's going to get the momentum going into the WrestleMania match? And also, they haven't done a triple threat Divas match for like a friggin' while. So it's interesting to see how they go about building it. So far, Charlotte's on top. I'm interested to see how Becky and Sasha fight back, maybe on SmackDown or Raw next week. But they've got a long time to build towards it. I'm really interested in this feud. I hope Sasha Banks wins the Divas title at WrestleMania. But this match, it wasn't entertaining. We've seen it all before. Goodbye. Anyway, we then had a really crappy segment with R-Truth offering Goldust a pizza. I mean, these segments between Goldust and R-Truth have been going on literally for about 2 months now. They never did anything for me. 2 months later, they're still doing it. The only funny thing about this was when Mark Henry stole the pizza. I mean, yeah, that's funny, but who gives a shit if R-Truth and Goldust team up? Doesn't really feel like there's any outcome from this either. Because, well, at the end of the day, nobody cares if R-Truth and Goldust become a tag team. So why is it such a slow build? Either put them together or don't. The segments for me aren't that funny. So why they keep doing them, I have no idea. Anyway, moving on, we then probably had the best match of the night, which was the Tag Team Championship match between the New Day against Y2, AJ, Chris Jericho and AJ Styles. The New Day won, which was... I thought this match was quite unpredictable because I thought Y2, AJ, they've been on quite a good roll recently. I felt like since they'd only recently debuted that they'd probably put the belts on Y2, AJ and have the rematch at WrestleMania. But no, the New Day, they win, which is great because I much preferred the New Day to win here because I think they're way better. Y2, AJ, I'm admitting here, I was never really that bothered they teamed up. I don't want to say the same word again, but it never did anything for me. Never interested me. I think AJ would be a lot better on his own. So I really wanted to see the New Day win here. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, the ending towards this match was great. You had Big E catch Chris Jericho when he went for the code breaker, turn it into a big ending. Boom. There you go. I also thought AJ's moves in this match were incredible. One of the best moves I saw was when he jumped on one of the ropes, did like a 720 flip in the air and landed on one of the New Day. Amazing. This guy is incredible. He needs to be a singles competitor and show us what he's got. I think this was logical to have the New Day retain here. I didn't want to see Y2 AJ with the titles. Just no. The New Day are great. They're good at what they do. So it makes sense for them to have the tag team titles. What happened after the match just frustrates me. It makes no sense. Chris Jericho turns heel on AJ Styles by hitting not one, not two, but 3 code breakers. I mean, yeah, if you want to turn heel, that's the way to do it. It's obviously a Chris Jericho thought of this idea because only Chris Jericho would think of something like this, and also putting the t-shirt in AJ Styles' mouth. That's all cool. That's a great way to turn somebody heel, but at the end of the day, we've already seen AJ against Jericho many times before. Does anybody care? Not really. Chris Jericho turning heel, what's he gonna do? I don't know. I don't really give a shit. Yeah, it was just... are they going to do AJ against Jericho again at WrestleMania? Who gives a crap? We've seen that all before. Yeah, this was just... I mean, I like the heel turn, but... I don't really care. Anyway, moving on. Callisto defeating Tyler Breeze. This match was short and sweet. I thought this match had some good potential if they gave it a bit more time. Callisto wins, which is obvious because he is the US champion. I wish they'd do more with Tyler Breeze. He's got a great theme song, a great entrance, a great gimmick. He's really flexible. He can do so many moves. He proved here that he can go with the best Callisto in the ring here. So yeah, I think they should do more with Tyler Breeze. But anyway, Callisto won with the Salida del Sol. Backstage, we had an interview with Ryback, who let Callisto know in a lot of words. I mean, this segment went on for about 5 minutes. He said that he wanted a match at WrestleMania. This promo was dreadful. I mean, it was so long. He sort of didn't make sense because 1 minute he was saying he respected Callisto. The next minute he was saying he wanted a match against Callisto and he was better than him. All over the place. Too many words. Ryback can't cut a promo for shit, so why they had him say so many words made absolute no sense. I predicted that in my preview we'd get Ryback against Callisto at Mania. I think this could be a good match. What happened after the match was, after the segment, was actually Ryback went on to defeat Curtis Axel. We saw that last week. So why they're doing it again, I have no idea. How the Social Outcasts are getting all this time on TV is ridiculous. Ryback, he turns up, he beats somebody and walks out. That's what I want to see from Ryback. I don't want to see him talk on the mic. He talked for like 5 minutes. It did absolutely nothing. This match did way more for his character than that 5 minutes on the mic. He turns up, he beats somebody, he walks out. That's all he needs to do. Why they had him have this backstage segment made absolutely no sense. Anyway, then moving on to the main event. Dean Ambrose defeated Bray Wyatt. This match, it didn't do anything for me. We've seen an Ambrose and Bray Wyatt feud 2 years ago. which never ever excited me. And that feud lasted, I think, 3 months. I think we had about 3 pay-per-views in a row where we had Ambrose against Bray Wyatt. So on Monday Night Raw, they have the main event, Ambrose against Bray Wyatt. It's WrestleMania season. It doesn't feel like it when you have your Raw main evented by Ambrose against Bray Wyatt. We've seen this match many, many times before. Then the match ends in a DQ. I mean, the one thing you don't want from a main event is it ending in DQ. And how does it end in DQ? With the Wyatt family attacking Dean Ambrose. As if we haven't seen this many times before. Yeah, we've seen this tons of times before. This did absolutely nothing for me. You had Ambrose hit the dirty deeds on Triple H. That was cool. He stands tall with the title to end Monday Night Raw. But at the end of the day, the Roadblock feels like a huge inconvenience. I want to build towards WrestleMania, not this house show on Saturday. I don't think Ambrose is winning the title on Saturday. Yes, it's cool. He ends Raw standing tall, which sort of suggests he's got the momentum heading into the match, but it makes no sense for Ambrose to win the title on Saturday. The main event of Mania has always been and will always be Roman against Triple H. They're not going to change that. It just feels like a huge inconvenience to have this special event on Saturday right in the way. It literally is a roadblock because we want to build towards WrestleMania and this is just in the bloody way. It makes absolute no sense. This Raw was okay. I think the start of it was great and then it just kind of like dwindled on and got even more boring as the show went on. But anyway, at the end of the day, please step it up a gear because it is WrestleMania season. It doesn't feel like it at this current time. Hopefully with Roadblock on Saturday, you can get that out of the way. Next week on Raw, we can set our attention to WrestleMania because it just feels like it's getting in the way. It's bloody WrestleMania season. Why the fuck are they booking a house show in the middle of the build towards WrestleMania? I mean, what? Are they retarded? Come on. Anyway, this Raw's going to get a 6 out of 10 from me. Pretty dreadful. Not that great. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Spike your hair.